Devotee. But there should be the experience. Unless I have the experience, how can I be free from these afflicting thoughts? Maharishi. These are also in the mind. They are there because you have identified yourself with the body. If this false identity drops away, ignorance vanishes and truth is revealed. Devotee. Yes. I feel it difficult. There are disciples of Bhagwan who have had his grace and realized without any considerable difficulty. I too wish to have that grace. Being a woman and living at a long distance, I cannot avail myself of Maharishi's holy company as much as I would wish and as often as I would. Possibly I may not be able to return. I request Bhagwan's grace. When I am back in my place, I want to remember Bhagwan. May Bhagwan be pleased to grant my prayer, Maharishi. Where are you going? You are not going anywhere. Even supposing you are the body, has your body come from Lucknow to Tiruvannamalai? You had simply sat in the car and one conveyance or another had moved, and finally you say that you have come here. The fact is that you are not the body. The self doesn't move. The world moves in it. You are only what you are. There is no change in you. So then, even after what looks like departure from here, you are here and there and everywhere. These scenes shift. As for grace, grace is within you. If it is external, it is useless. Grace is the self. You are never out of its operation. Grace is always there. Devotee. I mean that when I remember you from your form, my mind should be strengthened and that response should come from your side too. I should not be left to my individual efforts, which are, after all, only weak. Maharishi, grace is the self, I have already said. If you remember Bhagwan, you are prompted to do so by the self. Is not grace already there? Is there a moment when grace is not operating in you? Your remembrance is the forerunner of grace. That is the response. That is the stimulus. That is the self, and that is grace. There is no cause for anxiety. Devotee. Can I engage in spiritual practice even remaining in samsara? Maharishi. Yes, certainly. One ought to do so. Devotee. Is not samsara a hindrance? Don't all the holy book advocate renunciation? Maharishi. Samsara is only in your mind. The world doesn't speak out, saying I am the world. Otherwise, it must be ever there, not excluding your sleep. Since it is not in sleep, it is impermanent. Being impermanent, it has no stamina. Having no stamina, it is easily subdued by the self. The self alone is permanent. Renunciation is non-identification of the self with the non-self. On the disappearance of ignorance, the non-self ceases to exist. That is true renunciation. Devotee. Why did you then leave your home in your youth? Maharishi, that is my prarabdha fate. One's course of conduct in this life is determined by one's prarabdha. My prarabdha is this way, your prarabdha is that way. Devotee, should I not also renounce? Maharishi, if that had been your prarabdha, the question would not have arisen. Devotee, I should therefore remain in the world and engage in spiritual practice. Well, can I get realization in this life? Maharishi. This has been already answered. You are always the self. Earnest efforts never fail. Success is bound to result. Devotee. Will Maharishi be pleased to extend grace to me also? Maharishi smiled and said, With blessings and salutations. The interview came to a close and the party departed directly.